So this is the Stronghold Digital Mining daily update. Today's Monday, July 31st, 2023. I hope you had a really nice weekend. I know I had a wonderful weekend. I took the time to re-listen to our Q1 2023 investor presentation. I'd invite you to do something similar, just to reacclimate yourself with where we've been so far this year in 2023. I also took the opportunity to re-listen, as I oftentimes do, to several interviews where Greg, speaks, I think, very candidly about a variety of things pertaining to Stronghold Digital Mining, our mission, our purpose, and kind of where we've been on this journey. Again, that's something I would invite you to consider doing as well, because I think it provides some really useful context as to the journey we've been on. When I think back to even just 2021, when we as a company went public, right? And you think about just everything that we've been through, everything we've had to endure, everything we've had to overcome, and the degree of persistence and perseverance that's been required to get us to this point where we are right now, I do think is really amazing and really special. And it just makes me really, really happy and excited to not only be a co-owner of this business, but to have kind of gotten involved with attempting, at least in my small way, to really kind of spread the word about what this company is all about, what we're doing, and what we hope to accomplish in the future. All right, let's take a look at our numbers over the weekend. Let's put up the slide, please. Okay, these are 72-hour averages. PJM Penelec, $25.25. PJM PPNL, $20.34. The all-important Bitcoin priced in dollars per megawatt hour, $85.26. That's a very good number. The spot price of Bitcoin, 29,328, with a network hash rate of 386. Okay, back to me, please. So I'm going to be making a slight adjustment to the dashboard. I'm going to be adding in the hash price. So the hash price is something that gets talked about a lot, especially when when we're part of investor presentations or we're looking at slide decks that are associated with those investor presentations. That's a number that gets used a lot, not just by Stronghold Digital Mining, but by a lot of companies in the publicly traded Bitcoin mining ecosystem. From a comparison standpoint, I still firmly believe that it's probably a bit more useful to look at Bitcoin priced in dollars per megawatt hour and then to compare that with grid pricing. It's not quite the same to look at a hash price of, say, 7 cents a hash or 8 cents a hash, and then look at grid prices and then kind of like just intuitively discern which makes the most sense to be allocating our electricity to. Do we allocate the electricity that's being produced at Scrubgrass and Panther Creek to Bitcoin if hash prices are 0.07325 hash, right? Or does it make more sense if it's, say, $75, right? When we look at it from the perspective of Bitcoin priced in dollars per megawatt hour. So I'm gonna keep and maintain the look and feel that we're all, including me, right, very used to when it comes to the dashboard. But under the Bitcoin tab, down kind of like on the very last rung, I'm going to add basically the hash price to that. And I think that's useful just so that we can have a point of reference at any given point in time, right, to look and say, oh, okay, this is what all the numbers look like. Oh, and by the way, that's what it looks like when we talk about hash price. So you can look forward to that showing up probably sometime today. I'd like to have all of the changes I'm talking about implemented today so that as of August 1st, they can be live on the site. The other thing, and this has been something I'm secretly testing in the background, it's like a recent history, right, where we can look and basically see over the course of, say, 48 hours, what have grid prices look like, both for, say, PJM Penelec and PJM PPNL. What has Bitcoin price in dollars per megawatt hour look like? Perhaps what the price of Bitcoin has looked like. again, I can't add all the data in the world to this, right? But just say some of the core metrics that we like to follow and basically have that accessible at all times. Just like, say, if you're looking at the dashboard on your mobile device, you can click a button and just see that and kind of scroll through it to get a sense of, what's been going on. The other thing that, this has existed, right? But I guess I've publicized it a little bit, but it's been a bit inconsistent just because of various tech issues behind the scenes. But I do want to make sure that there's a way to actually just download this data so that you can load it up yourself into an Excel spreadsheet and play with the numbers and maybe, plot some charts and some graphs and get a visual representation of what's been going on as well. So these are all things that I hope to have something a bit more firmly in place by the end of today so that, as of midnight Eastern time tonight, this data is being recorded and displayed in the manner that I'm kind of describing. Technology is challenging sometimes, and as I've said many times before, this is a very homemade production, right? So bear with me as I learn, as I attempt to implement this stuff. Okay, with all of that said, let's stay positive, let's be great, and we'll see each other again tomorrow. I do plan to talk a bit about some thoughts I have regarding what I'm going to be looking for as it relates to our Q2 2023 investor presentation, and maybe just a little bit of context and color as to how I think we did in Q2, which again, it was a challenging quarter from my perspective, but there are definitely some really cool things that I think may have come out of that quarter, but we'll see. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay, until then, as always, as I said, like a minute ago, let's be positive, let's be great, and we'll see each other then.